Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here again. So, Libing, maybe you can share that slide you made, that we made, and I can talk a little bit about that first. Okay, so most of you will have now done the beginner course, and we decided we call it an intermediate course. So we really want to give all of you an opportunity to delve deeper into the world of Sahaja Yoga, because there is so much to learn and we have so much to share with you. And we created this sort of list of lessons. They will probably get a bit mixed up and changed as we go along, but this is the idea of what we would like to share with you. So of course, Shri Mataji spent a whole lifetime teaching us about spirituality, about our inner being, and developed this wonderful technique that allows us to transform and heal ourselves and balance ourselves and become the spirit. And we hope that after these weeks that you've had with us, that you now feel some sort of a connection or some sort of an improvement, that this makes sense to you and you would like to continue, you would like to go deeper. So I'll just read quickly the themes that we will talk about. And all of these sessions will be a little bit of theory, a little bit of practice, doing techniques, always meditation, and listening to Shri Mataji's words. And then we also want really for you, all of you, each and one of you, we want you to know that we want to get to know you and we would like to accompany you on this journey of growth. So one aim of this intermediate course, beside being about the knowledge and the experience, is also that we might help you answer your questions, understand what's going on with you, and apply the knowledge so that it really works for you. Because everything that we teach, you should be able, at one point or another, you should be able to experience it. It's not a theoretical course. It should be an experience, okay? So I'll just read the topics and see if it tickles you, if this is something you would like to be part of. So how to meditate. Simple little tips and techniques that Shri Mataji has taught us to move into meditation. And I say move into meditation, it's because, as you know, in Sahaja Yoga, meditation happens spontaneously, but there are little things that we can do to help it along. So we'd like to teach you some of those tricks. We need to trick the mind so that it gets silenced. The role of prayer and affirmation as a way to grow. It's a way of connecting with our inner being and stating those truths and feeling the effect of those words. So we use language as one way to move deeper and move into meditation. Sahaj treatments, this could be a whole course just about that, because there are hundreds of treatments using the elements of nature. You know, one very simple one, which is the foot soak. We're using the element of water and the salt of the earth. And there are many other techniques where we use the vibrations of each element in nature to heal ourselves. Sahaj treatments again, there's so many, so I decided to give two sessions to this. The sound of the Kundalini. You might have heard about the Om being the sound of creation, the sound of the universe. So the Bija mantras are very short, very effective mantras that work on our subtle system, that we can learn to sing correctly and hopefully feel the effect. So it's one more thing that helps us to move into meditation. Who is Shri Mataji? Very important part of your learning is to get to know Shri Mataji. She is an amazing personality, and getting to understand who she was and how she was with all of us can be quite an important point of this learning. And what she did, what it means that she opened the Sahasrara. What does that mean? That was what she came here to do. The names of God. So we will go deeper with the mantras and learn how to use mantras in an even more complete way, in the way that Shri Mataji has taught us. And this can be a very, very expansive and transformative way for you guys to learn how to open up your chakras. Lots to say about this. We will go into it with time. The tree of religion within. This all sounds a bit theoretical and philosophical, and it is, but it's also very concrete. So we will sort of tell the story of the different incarnations and teachers and prophets and whatever, and see how they all have helped us come to the point where we are today. Part and parcel of the whole. Seeing ourselves as the sort of the map of the universe. The subtle system is the microcosm, and Virata, which is the whole, is this the universe, is the macrocosm. Going deeper, what does it mean to become subtle? So after all of these sessions, where are we? Where do we stand? How do we feel? Have we become more subtle? And what does that mean? So a lot of things to explore and learn about, and move through as a whole series of beautiful experiences. So these sessions will happen on Wednesdays. So no longer on Mondays, but on Wednesdays at the same time. Okay. So that was my introduction to the little intermediate course. Okay, so I'm going to start the session for today. We're going to talk about vibratory awareness. So today I'd like to also, I'm going to talk about what that means, and I'm going to try and give you the basic knowledge so that you can feel that you can do this on your own, in your own time, and understand a bit more how to manage this information that you get from the vibrations. So I'd like this session today to be a bit interactive. So I've asked Lebing, so if you want to unmute, I think you should be able to unmute. So I might be asking questions during the sessions to hear from you, what you are feeling, and you feel free to also ask me questions during, not just at the end, which we all often do, but to ask me questions during the session, because I might be talking about things that might bring up doubts and things that you don't understand and you want to check with what you're feeling, and we can help you. Okay. And also, I don't mind if you turn on your cameras. That's up to you. I tend to feel a bit alone when there's no cameras on, but that's okay. I'm just looking at myself. So, Lebing. Oh, thank you. Hello, Sheila. See, now I don't feel so lonely anymore. Oh, see, that helps me a lot. Thank you. Hi, guys. So, Lebing, can you share that slide with the Charlie Chakra, please? Thank you. Okay. So we keep coming back to this Charlie, we call him Charlie Chakra. It's this diagram, we keep coming back to it. It's like a starting point for 100 different topics and conversations. Everything is included in this. So first of all, let's start with the beginning. Let's start with what we always do before meditation in Sahaja Yoga, is that we take up our Kundalini and we do a Bandhan. Now, before we do that, Let me just kind of contextualize a bit, because there was a nice question last week about why do we do the bandhan? What does it mean to put on a protection? What are we protecting ourselves against? So it's important in Sahaja Yoga. There are certain gestures that we do, and it's important that you, on the one hand, understand what they are about, why we do them. And on the other hand, it's important that you, when you do them, that you do them with absolute attention and awareness. So Sahaja Yoga is always about being present with who you are and where you are right now. It's not like popping your mind into some sort of fantastic theory or philosophical thing. No, it's being present with yourself here and now. So everything we do with our hands in Sahaja Yoga, we move our hands, we rotate our hands. We do it in order to move the attention, move the awareness, move the vibrations. And we're basically asking this beautiful energy, which is the Kundalini, to move and to rise. So let's take, with that awareness, let's slowly take up our Kundalini together. So left hand moves up and the right hand rotates. You can just follow me and we can do it all together, the same movement. Second time. And third time. Left hand open, we do a whole bandhan. So we count to 7, 6. I've now done 7. And we can stop there, or you can take it back. It doesn't matter. And then you will often see yogis do this gesture and this gesture. So I like to think of it as the left and the right meeting, and we bow in humility, and we wish to be in the center, and we're sort of bowing to the spirit and to the heart. So you should feel the effect of these gestures because you've done them with intention and you've done them with care. So can you now just keep your hands open and just try and feel if something is happening in your hands, in your body. Just pay attention with this sort of kind way of looking at yourself. We're not looking for problems and negativity. We're just trying to assess what our state is. So we can ask Mother Kundalini, please show me the state of my subtle system. Give me the information that I need on my hands to know how I'm doing today. So, okay. So that was just one little exercise where you can sort of put your attention inside, keep your hands open, and just sort of ask, how am I right now? What's going on in my subtle system? Because the vibrations is an intelligence, and it's always giving you information. So what we will talk about today first is the general understanding of decoding what you feel. Okay. And then we will talk more about what is vibratory awareness and etc. So as you see from this diagram, there are colors on each finger. Now, I know that you probably have learned this before, and maybe you already know by heart the correspondences between the chakras and the fingers. Do you or not? So I have a little game, a little way for you to learn by heart, because I find that it's hard to learn things when you're just looking at a picture. So we're gonna try and learn by heart the correspondence, because each chakra, the hand is like an image of our whole body. Okay, so the first chakra is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can just do it by touching. We can do it by rubbing them together. So 1, just do it with me. 1. This is the point of the Muladhara. 1, 2. Middle finger, this one. 3. Just rub them together for a little bit. 4, we have the pinky finger is the heart. So now there's only 2 fingers left, which is these 2, these 2 here. So we're going to do 5, which is the index. And we're going to do 6, which is the Agya chakra, the head. We're going to rub them together. And then center of the palm. Okay, so now we already did something which is actually clearing and working on your subtle system. So when you do this, the chakras are present on your hand, they're corresponding. So it's a bit like, acupressure and reflexology and those kind of techniques where the one point on the foot or on the hand, it works on the whole body. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a nice way for you to, it's clearing you out, it's strengthening your chakras, and it also helps you to remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So why do we insist that you learn this by heart? Because imagine you're out and about and suddenly you get this very strong pain on one finger, and you should be able to immediately know which chakra that is. You shouldn't have to go and look on your phone or on the internet, you should know that. You must know that by heart. It's the baseline. Okay, promise? Yes. Sheila says yes, she already learned it many years ago. Okay, so can I have this slide again, Libby? Okay, so now we know the correspondent on the hand. There is one more correspondent, which is this green ring here, which is the whole center of the palm, is the void, corresponds to this whole void. So we will feel, if there is a problem with the 7th chakra, we will feel a pinpoint at the center of our palm. But if there's a problem with the whole void, we will feel the whole palm as a heat or a tingling sensation. So you will then know the difference. Okay, good. Okay, another thing is that all of our chakras are also have a correspondence on our body, on our feet, and on the head. So actually, I just realized I don't have the chart for that now, but that's okay. I can send that to you. We can look at it next time. We don't have to go into that now. But for example, the knees is the 3rd chakra. So it's like a mirrored inverted body. So it goes heart, nabi, and svadhisthana. So the important thing is that you understand that you might, during a session of Sahaja Yoga, when you are working, more vibrations are flowing, you might have sensations on certain points of your head or even on parts of your body. And you can, again, immediately, oh, that's what's going on. So it's really a tool for your self-knowledge. You're getting to know yourself in a sense, understanding your own system. And it will be very useful, because what you want always is to be able to balance yourself. Okay. So I am aware that there might be a lot of people in this group that don't feel a lot when it comes to vibrations or these sensations. Is that true? I'd like for you guys to kind of answer me if you want to, especially the beginners. Those are the ones that I sort of would like to hear from. If you don't feel anything at all, does anyone have that? You can even write in the chat that you actually never felt either cool or any sensations on your hand. That's normal. It's not a problem. It's or some of you might feel a lot. Don't feel much. I'm new. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what Shri Mataji says is that if you don't feel anything, it's one of two things. Either your self-realization, which is that exercise we do at the very beginning, where you start to feel the cool breeze, or at least there's something happening up here. It hasn't happened yet. So the Kundalini is sort of working her way up, but she hasn't come all the way here yet. Another reason might be that you did get your self-realization. It's all well and flowing, and other people can feel cool when they put their hands toward you, but you have a problem with this chakra right here, which is our chakra that governs all our sensitivity and our senses, and that's why you can't feel anything. But actually you might have a very big flow of vibrations, but you're not feeling it. So it's either one of the two. So in order for there to be this sensitivity, the realization, as we call, which is the opening of the Sahasrara, it has to actually have happened. And then your Vishuddhi needs to be functioning in some sense. Thank you guys for writing in the answers. That's very nice. Cool breeze once or twice on a palm. That's good, Dennis. That's good. Marianne, rarely felt anything in the hands for 8 years. You've been meditating for 8 years. Do you feel peaceful then? Do you feel like a positive effect of the meditation? Or are you already a yogi? Yes and yes. Okay, that's very interesting, Mariana. We could tackle that later. There are ways for you to overcome that. Okay, so we've done, let's say we've done our raising Kundalini, we've asked inside, and we start feeling something. And then what is very important is that you have that right attitude, because you need to be just observing and witnessing and not start reacting or analyzing or thinking, or why is this happening and what does it mean? And okay, you can think a little bit, that's fine. We need to think, but it's important not to react a lot, because then suddenly your whole subtle system goes into a different mode. So we really want to have that attitude where we are just like with the kind eyes, curiosity and openness towards ourselves. Hemlata, I feel tingling in fingers, but no cool breeze. I can feel on head. Okay, we'll get to that. Thank you, guys. It's nice for us to hear what's going on with you. As we were saying, we'd like for these sessions to be about us also helping you overcome or deal with whatever is going on for you, because we do want to help you get deeper into meditation. So, yes, so I just want to mention that you might not be feeling a lot on your hands. Some people actually, they feel the chakras on the head. So you might start feeling like a tingling or a point, like a pressure on certain points on the head. Also on the toes of your feet, or a point just behind your heel. So these are all correspondences with the chakras, and it could just mean that there is an activity and a clearing out on that chakra. So I'll get you those charts later so you can have as a reference. Okay, so now yeah, I also want to say that intermediate course that we're going to do on Wednesdays, I think a very big aim, for at least for the first like series of sessions, is really to help you feel those cool vibrations and overcome whatever blockages are in your subtle system. We will do what we can for that to happen, because it's quite important in Sahaja Yoga to have that experience, I feel. Okay, so today I'm going to have to talk a lot. I hope you don't mind. So what is vibratory awareness? What does it mean? Does anybody know? Would anybody like to try and answer that? What is this information we're getting? How do we get it? Does anybody have any ideas? What is it that we're feeling? Thank you, Sophia. What does it mean to be aware of vibrations? Would anybody like to try their understanding? Or should I just keep talking? Awareness of energy, absolutely. So in order for us to be aware of energy, it must mean that we are also aware energy, that we are also energy. So imagine that you have your whole nervous system. Then this is saying connecting with something. Yes, good. So these are two very important points. It's an awareness of energy and a connection to something. So Shrimataji calls it collective consciousness. This is actually a quality of the Vishuddhi. So the Vishuddhi is very important here. And as you can see on the Charlie Chakra, the Vishuddhi is the collectivity. So we're becoming, it's like we start moving into an awareness of the collective. We are becoming more subtle as the chakras go up. We become more and more subtle, and it becomes a new experience, but it has always been there. This is the amazing thing. We start becoming aware of what, yes, absolutely, the unity. Somebody wrote in the chat, Chiara, being part of a unity, we become aware of that oneness and that collectivity. And Shrimataji very often uses the image of the drop in the ocean. So you become a drop in the ocean. You have always been a drop in the ocean, but suddenly, you start moving beyond the mind and you start having that experience. You see this beautiful flower with all the colors on top of Charlie Chakra. That is the Sahasrara, and that is the connection with the cosmos. And that's where all the qualities on the chakras sort of integrate. Okay, so yes, I was going to say what Vladimir is saying, awareness of energy. So in Sahaja Yoga, you get to know yourself as a being of energy. So this Charlie Chakra, he should maybe have more space around him with colors, because our aura go beyond our body, right? So the chakras, they kind of go outside of our body, and there are these layers and layers to our aura that are nested inside of each other, and they go beyond the body. So you are bigger than you think. You are much bigger. And you can imagine that on your hands, you have all these nerve endings, right? And when you get your self-realization, and there's a different energy that starts flowing on your system that wasn't flowing before, it's as if those nerve endings extend out, and you start having sensations of things that are happening out here. Can you see my hands? Sorry, I'm trying to be. You're starting to have information coming to you from space. So before, people had to come and touch you in order for you to feel them. But those people that say that they have eyes in their back of their head and they can feel when somebody is looking at them? Well, hello, it's your aura, of course. You can feel that attention, you can feel that energy. It's actually physically, if we could see the interaction, it's actually moving on you. Yes, good, Vladimir, absolutely. Something moving, something alive. It's absolutely alive. Vibrations are absolutely intelligence and moving and alive. So you start having a different kind of information flowing into your awareness. Okay, so Shimataji will say that your attention, which is, you know, you're awake, not when you're sleeping or in some sort of a trance or anything, it's here and now, your awareness. It's connected to the attention of the universe, which means that any kind of information that is there, you can receive it. Now, this all sounds a bit abstract, I know, but it can be something as simple as, and this would also be very, very interesting for us to hear what kind of experiences you've had. Let's say somebody's having a mental breakdown. They're absolutely shattered and crying and hysterical. And you come into the room and you feel the atmosphere. It's kind of awful. And you feel this kind of shock, or suddenly you feel emotions that you have no reason to feel. You're feeling that other person. This might have happened to you, I don't know. But what we're teaching you today, if there are people in this group that are already very sensitive in that way, it might be very helpful for you to understand what's going on, because we don't learn about this anywhere. We don't learn what it means to be sensitive and to pick up things around us. And it's actually quite straightforward. When you come to Sahaja Yoga, it's like, of course, like everyone in this group who is practicing Sahaja Yoga, this is just like normal. Absolutely. There's nothing weird about it at all. It's just how things are. And I think it's a normal thing in many other countries, except in the West. We're very rational. We only believe in the mechanistic universe. So it's important to sort of understand how the exchange of energy happens between you and the world and you and other people. Because now that you have more awareness and more vibrations flowing, you will very probably have new experiences that you didn't have before. And it's important for us that you learn how to decode them. So the session today is a little bit about that, how to decode this information. So I'm going to write something for you here. So there's a very nice little, how do you say, like a little mnemonic that I learned, which is catching. Oh, it disappeared. What happened? Catching, yes. Clearing and registering. So this is a little way for you to kind of ask yourself, if you have a sensation in your hands or in your body, you might be catching, you might be clearing, or you might be registering. So what do these words mean? Would you like to have a try, any of you? What would it mean to be catching? This is a word we use a lot in Sahaja Yoga. What does it mean to be catching? What does it mean to catch? Anybody? Catch negativity. Ooh, sounds very scary.
Some bad energy is surrounded you.
Okay.
Or
yeah, good.
Something like that.
That's it. Catch any energy. It's true. You can catch any energy. Contagious. Okay. So we have an idea, okay, that you might be fine. You might be fine. And suddenly you're not. You went into the cemetery and you came out again and you feel horrible, or you went to a hospital and it's full of sick people and you feel horrible and you don't know why, because you didn't do anything, you know. So to catch means that you are sort of vulnerable and absorbing energies that are in other people, other places that you move through or that you have your attention on. So this is a whole theme. We don't need to go into it very much. You just need to know that it can happen. And then you go home and you have that energy on you. It's a bit like walking through the mud and your boots get dirty, or it's a bit like going to the center of the city and the air is very polluted and it gets into your lungs, or something similar. It makes sense. It's really nothing more than that. So the important thing is that Chiara is saying perceiving and to some extent absorbing other people's energy. Okay, so here's the interesting thing, Chiara. We will talk about the difference between catching, clearing, and registering. So you have information happening on your subtle system, right? Let's say I take the train, I'm sitting on the train, I'm not doing anything, I'm not thinking about anything. Suddenly, ding, I start feeling this kind of awful pain on my whatever finger. Now, am I catching? Am I clearing, or am I just registering? So these are three different things, and it can be for me, when I learned this, it was very, very helpful. So if you're catching, it means that it's kind of gotten onto you, and you often, when you react to it, or you start thinking about it, or you start interpreting it, it just sticks with you because you've kind of made it your own. You make it yours by thinking about it. If you're clearing, it's something else. Let's say I had a meditation this morning and I was praying and I was working on my chakras and I felt good. And then I went out and I went and took the train. And as I'm sitting on the train, the effect of that morning meditation is still happening. And suddenly it's the moment where that chakra was able to release something. And I feel it on my finger. Boom, I feel this pain and it's gone. And I was like, what's happening? It could just be that I'm clearing and everything's fine. It could be that I'm sitting next to a person who is feeling terribly guilty, and I'm just thinking it's mine, and I'm catching it from that person. Or I'm talking to a friend. It's more probable that you will get it onto you if you are like interacting with somebody, looking them in the eyes, empathizing with them, feeling what they're feeling. Tell me more. Oh my God, this is horrible. You take it on. Registering, there you go, Chiara. Exactly, it's the perception. So this is more about the person on the train that I don't know. I don't have a relationship to them. I don't care what they feel. Sorry, but I don't care. I'm just taking my train and I just feel something. And it's like, oh, interesting. Whatever. Interesting. Something's going on over there. And I'm just registering and I just walk away, right? This is like feeling as you walk by a bakery and you feel the smell of fresh bread. So it doesn't mean that you're going to smell fresh bread for the rest of the day. You were just walking by a bakery. The same with energy. So it's important to have sort of a cool detachment to all of this and try to ask yourself, okay, am I just like perceiving something here? Or did something just clear out? And you might not always know the answer. Okay, you might not always know exactly what's going on, and you don't always need to know. Okay, so is that helpful, those three words? Yes, Chiara, that's perfect. Registering just means that you're perceiving like you would see or hear or smell or feel anything else. It's just part of now you're vibratory aware. And now you have like a sixth sense or a seventh sense. And it's just part of who you are. And absorbing is different. You're catching and you need to clear it out. You need to get rid of it again because it's kind of gotten under your skin. That's why in the intermediate course, we're going to teach you some treatments so that you can clear out easily. Okay. Thank you guys for interacting. This is very helpful that you're answering me via chat and writing down your ideas and your thoughts. It's really great. So when we become part and parcel of the collective conscious, however, even in a very small way, we just have a few strands of the Kundalini up and there's a new connection with the whole. There's a sentence which kind of came to me today, which is, that which is pure purifies. Okay, just gonna let that. I can write it down maybe and see if we can understand that. That which is pure purifies. Does it make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Yes. Why? Why does it make sense? Who's talking? And please say more. How is that? Would anyone like to have a go? We're just here to learn.
Hello,
Yeah, hi.
I'm Maya. I once heard from a woman, I don't know if it's like false knowledge, but she said that she don't like that people do Reiki, that smoking a lot, or she said when you are having the smartphone a lot in your palms, that it's important that you clear your palms, yeah, that you have to be like pure to heal other people, yeah, they don't catch something from you.
That's interesting. That has to do with what we talked about before as well, doesn't it? About the catching and the clearing, to understand that dynamic.
Yes.
So there are energies which can kind of make us feel heavy and make us feel kind of have less space. They might make us feel sad, or we don't even know what's going on, but there's something impure that can kind of make us feel a bit heavy. And then there is the energy of the Kundalini, which is the purest energy in the whole universe. According to Shimataji, the Kundalini is the very energy that creates life, that makes the plant grow, that was present in the universe before all creation. So the Kundalini is the purifier. And the important thing about this sentence, that which is pure purifies, is that now that your Kundalini is flowing on your system, you have become a purifier. Yeah, so Chiara is saying, okay, Laura is saying, being pure, like sending ripples out in water, pure ripples purifying. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful image. So it has to do with the collective consciousness, doesn't it? That you have an effect on everything. Because it's like your vibration is higher and you have an effect, a purifying effect on everything. Chiara is saying, I think it means you need to be in peace with yourself in order to be able to establish a good relation with or even heal others. Absolutely. So this is what we will be getting to, Chiara. Absolutely. We need to be in that balance so that, exactly, so that we have a positive effect on the world. It's true. Hemlata, like the water which washes away mud on the boots which we caught. Yes. Yes, so the nature, on Eli saying fire is purifying. Actually, it's very, very interesting. All the elements of nature have, in a different way, a purifying effect on us. And we, now that we are realized souls, we become a bit like nature in that way. So what you need to know is that from now on, as you move into the world, you have your relationships, you talk, you teach, you learn, you work, whatever, your subtle system, whether you want it or not, is acting upon everything and everyone. Berit, if you feel real joy, people notice it and feel good. Yes. So I just want you to know that you don't control your subtle system. It sort of has a bit of a life on its own because you are now part of the collective conscious. So imagine if there's a whole group of people that has this purifying capacity. Imagine the good we could do. Just imagine. Okay. So I have more to talk about, so I will just move through to the next theme. I hope we're not running out of time. Ooh, 7:45. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about ourselves. So this is maybe something that you guys have learned in previous sessions, is what does it mean then that, let's say you have a lot of heat in one hand, or you might have a lot of heat on both sides on the palm, or one finger or another finger is kind of catching, or like we say catching, it's kind of giving you a pain or a tingle. So what is this? What it means is that your subtle system is showing you, or you are perceiving, the state of that chakra or that channel. If it's the whole hand, it's the channel. If it's just one finger, it's that chakra. That's important for you to know. So over time, as you practice Sahaja Yoga, you will start to notice that there are certain chakras that very often give you a bit of a tingling or a pain. This will be your sort of weak points. So you will have chakras that are strong and healthy and happy, and you will have other chakras that are like having a bit of a problem dealing with everything it has to deal with. Okay, I know my weak points, and I'm sure the yogis who are here, they kind of know which chakras tend to kind of suffer a bit. So that will be your general state. So maybe you've heard about in Sahaja Yoga, we talk about people being left-sided or right-sided. Have you heard about that? It means that, let's say, if I'm a right-sided person, it means that I sort of drift over to the right side, and I tend to use my right side more, and those qualities tend to dominate my personality. So then I will be maybe very speedy or very stressed or very proactive, or like I have to talk all the time, or I might even have a bad temper or whatever, or think a lot, whatever. If you're left-sided, you might be more of a lethargic person. You don't feel like doing much. You might feel like sleeping a lot, or you might be a very, very emotional person, or you might kind of not feel that you can tell people what you want. So you try to kind of manipulate and be a bit sly about it. And I could speak a lot about left and right and the differences there. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you try to understand, do you have one channel that is a bit dominating? That's a very big deal for you to start to correct yourself, because we want to be in the center. Remember this gesture? We want to be in the center, because when we're in the center, then there's space for the Kundalini to go up and to ascend. And that's what we want. So one thing about this vibratory awareness is to try to also to read a bit in the Sahaja literature and try to recognize, what does it mean to be left-sided? Is that me? No, I think I'm more, or maybe you're a bit of both, which might mean that you're actually quite balanced. You just tend to kind of go a little bit back and forth, which is normal. What you want is to find a way to open up and strengthen and widen the central channel. That's the whole work we're doing here. We want left and right to relax, and we want the central channel to be become wider. Then you have the imbalances that are temporary. Like the other day, I had a lot of fatty food for lunch, and then I had a lot of fatty food for dinner, and then I couldn't sleep because my liver was like, my whole knobby. I was like everything. I was probably about to go and throw up, which I didn't, because I put ice on my liver, like you guys have learned, and I was okay. But absolutely, for a few hours, my Nabi chakra was a mess, and I had pain in both these fingers, and terrible. We've all had those days, often around Christmas, right? you eat too much, and then you have to deal with the consequences. So of course the chakra is also doing its best to heal you and help you and supply you with the vitality, because that's what the chakras do. They supply us with vital energy for all the processes of the body. So if you feel an imbalance, it could be just a temporary thing. It could be that you are stressing out about a certain issue, and that will show up on your subtle system, obviously. So I'm just trying to teach you that there's a difference between like your temperament, your general temperament, that you need to gradually over time balance, and something that is just going on right now. Okay. A lot of information. Is this helpful? Is this something that you already knew? Am I just, telling you things that you already knew by heart? And maybe we can start taking questions, because I still have one thing I want to talk about, but please remember your questions, because today is really important to ask them. Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. I mostly feel the cool breeze on my hand. Oh, sorry for my English. On my head and in the palms. Mostly, I'm a very left-sided person, so I felt most of the time tingling on the left hand. And I want to, like today and other days before, I tried to ask a question and wanted to get the answers from this vibration, if it's good to do it or not. But because I already have like so much tingling and don't feel, I think I only felt maybe once a cool breeze on the hand. Maybe it was just the wind, I don't know. And so I asked another yogi or other yogis that are very experienced to answer these questions for me. But I would. Rahul said, that this course maybe helps me. This workshop.
Yes, absolutely. I think it will, because as you can see, just from the things that I've explained today, it's quite complex, and you have to discern. Do you understand? You have to, on one hand, have enough vibrations flowing, which means you need to do the exercises right and meditate. And then you need to kind of actually be able to feel the sensations, and then discern, am I feeling other people? Am I feeling myself? Is this a general thing, or is it just something going on today? So absolutely. Today is more like, I'm just giving you the map. And the promise that we will work on this. We will do the exercises, and they should work on you. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but
I think I understood that. I have to clear myself more to get clear answers.
Yes, that's one thing. And then, of course, vibratory awareness is collective consciousness. So when we are together and doing this work and asking questions to each other, and we can even, work on each other's vibrations, which is something we will learn how to do, it will be much easier for you than if you're just alone at home. So to be collective in Sahaja Yoga, to interact with other yogis and meditate together, that itself will help you a lot, because the vibrations are much stronger when we're together. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yes, I already noticed it. So you think I need to practice more to get to the point that I can answer myself?
Well, that's the aim, isn't it? The aim is that we are able to clear ourselves out, so that we know how to kind of use our attention to ask a question and get a clear answer. This isn't easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's what we're aiming for.
Okay.
And I'm also saying that when we do it together, it's easier, it's better, it's stronger.
Definitely, I agree. When we all do it together, it's so much easier, and we follow each other as well. Like follow you as a person,
Yeah.
and it's so much easier.
Thank you.
I've certainly learned a lot today.
Yeah. Thank you. Good. I'm glad. I'm just going to mention one more thing, and then we can do a little meditation, which is the fact that, okay, so let's say I go inside, I ask vibration, what is the state of my subtle system? And I start feeling, let's say I start feeling the left heart, you know, the little pinky finger here is kind of feeling this kind of pain, vibration, tingling sensations, etc. So we have different levels in our being. I'm going to write now just to have you guys. So we have the body, which is the gross. We have our mind and emotions. And then we have our soul, which Sri Mataji talks about. And then we have the spirit. So the soul is like everything packed together, your aura, your memories, your emotions, your body, all of it's like the whole package. And then the spirit is the reflection of the divine within you, which is detached from all of this, but it's present. This is a bit abstract, but okay. These are the different levels in your being. So, okay, so I now know from my vibratory awareness that there's something wrong with my left heart chakra. There's something, but I don't know what. So I can go to the literature and I can see that I might have a problem with my physical heart. Okay, my physical heart might, be ill. I might have thoughts and emotions that are harming me on that chakra. So I might have psychological issues, heartache. I might have had a broken heart. The left heart is also connected to our biological mother. So if I have a difficult relationship with her, or if my mother is suffering, my chakra will, because we are so united with our parents energetically, this will happen. This will be a problem in this chakra. On an even deeper level, if I don't believe that I'm the spirit, if I don't feel happy, if I don't feel that I'm worthy of love or things like that, on a deeper level, it's showing me also something that is going on this chakra. So our chakra is like sitting on top of all of this, and they're governing all these layers of our being. So let's say I'm now helping one of you. Let's say I'm working on Chiara and I'm feeling this left nabi. Let's say I'm feeling this finger. And I have to be very careful, because I shouldn't start saying to Chiara, "Oh, Chiara, are you very unhappy and worried and stressed these days?" She's like, "No, I'm fine." I can't make any assumptions, because it could just mean that her spleen is a bit, the spleen is that organ that sits on the left nabi. Maybe she's just, been eating too fast, or something is just going on that isn't really of much consequence. And in these 5 minutes that I'm interacting with Chiara, something is going on in her nabi. So it's also important for you guys to know that we are very complex, deep beings, and all the things that we think and feel and believe, and all of our past traumas, and maybe you had a skiing accident, or maybe your mom would always yell at you, or maybe you wish you were a famous dancer but you're not. All these things will kind of determine how your subtle system is, in what state it is. What we learn about in Sahaja Yoga is the higher level, the deeper level, the spiritual level. So often, for example, let's go back to the heart. If I put my hand on the heart and I work on the affirmation, "I am the spirit," it might actually heal my heart, physical heart. It might heal my relationship to my mother. It might heal painful emotions that I've had in the past, because it's the highest, most subtle quality that my heart can experience, is to believe and to know and experience that I am the spirit. Does it make sense? It's like sitting at the top, or it's the most subtle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. So it's important for you to know that
Mm.
as you start learning about each chakra, let's say you feel one sensation, then you freak out. Oh my God, my mother is maybe suffering. No. Your mother could be fine. Maybe, maybe it's something going on with you. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I always talk so much, but there's so much to learn. Now we need to kind of calm down our minds because we've been thinking a lot. Do we still have time for a little meditation? No, it's already 9 o'clock, isn't it, for you guys? Lebing, what do you say?
Yeah, it's okay. We can have a short meditation. I hope we have a few minutes, like 10 minutes.
Okay, 10
It's up
minutes.
to you how you feel, of course.
Sorry?
It's up to you how you feel, of course. You're the one who leads.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
a few more minutes is okay. I hope for most of you.
So I didn't hear that. Lebing, can you say it again?
I'm just saying a few minutes more. It's okay
Yeah. Okay. So let's just take our hands and rub them together. And we can do this. We can stroke the back of our hand like this. And then the front. And we stroke the back and we stroke the front. Okay. We can massage our shoulders gently, just a little bit. All around the shoulder with attention on the subtle aspect of you. Okay. So you are actually massaging the area of the chakras that give you the power to move the energy. We can give a little bit of a massage to our neck. Back of our head. Just imagine that your fingers are longer than they are and that you are moving energy as well. You can move up to the top of the head, just around the crown, just massage all around here, behind, on the sides and in front. And we can massage this point right here. And we can also give vibrations to this point. This is the point of the collective consciousness. It's a very important chakra right there. We can take our ring finger and just massage the agya a little bit. You can take both hands like this and push towards the center. And then we can just take this movement up the nose and out the eyebrows like this. If you can see me, just massage the hamsa and the eyebrows like that. And then we can sort of shake it off a bit. So what I want you to do now, if you can see me, is that you take your right hand and you write your own name just above the palm of your hand. So I'm going to write my name. I'm just going to, thank you. So just write your name on the palm, and then you just give vibrations for a few seconds like that with the intention of knowing your state. So when you do that, you give vibrations, and then you open your hands, completely detached, observing, and just noticing what's going on in your hands. This is called checking vibrations. So just pay attention. Your attention is inside on yourself, and you wish to know the state of your subtle system. You can do this at any time. You can write your name, give a few bandhans, a few circles, and then you check. And then the vibrations will show you. Okay. We can just put our hands on the lap, resting. And keep our attention just above the head. We can ask Mother Kundalini, please let me feel the cool vibrations today. Take me into the Sahasrara. Please complete my self-realization. Please say these words inside with full confidence and desire. You must ask for this. It's not going to come to you. You have to ask for it. Whatever is going on in my subtle system, it doesn't matter. I just want to experience the silence and the cool of the Sahasrara. Let's put our hands together in front of us, bow our heads, and just really humble down before a greater reality, whatever it means to us, that we are connected to, and also put our hands together in front of our heart. So we're offering up our minds and our hearts. So let's take up our Kundalini together to finish this session. So those who would like to stay behind and ask some questions or tell us how you felt, that would be great.